There's a little bit of news that I want to bring to you guys from our Kelly O'Donnell, who reports that an FBI official says there is a court-authorized activity at M Street in Washington, D.C. They make the point here that the home search was done in a different jurisdiction, that being Bethesda, Maryland. But, of course, this could be related to the office site that Bolton was seen at this morning, because we know from our sources that he was not home as his home in Bethesda, Maryland was raided. Instead, he keeps an office here in the district. That could be where this second raid is happening. This news just coming into us. But, Rob, I want to turn to you about what it takes to authorize a search like this. It means a judge found probable cause to authorize the raid, now in this first location, now potentially in this second. You spent 2 decades at the Bureau. You've been a supervisor at the FBI. What would cause everyone involved to make a move like this, knowing full well that this is not just approving your run-of-the-mill raid? This is high-profile, and there are potential conflicts to this.
Well, the case agent shouldn't be taking any of that into consideration. A case agent should solely be looking at the facts and the evidence, and then he sends it up the chain of command. And the 7th floor FBI, where all the leadership's at, is dealing with the Department of Justice, as Mary worked at, talking about those things. The case agent is just finding the facts, and then he'll lay out the warrant that's going to be reviewed. And as Mary said, though, the big thing is, the evidence can't be stale. It can't be something from 5 years ago. It has to be something current. And that's what a judge is going to look at. And the judge, you have to understand, a judge is going to know that this is going to come out. Judges don't like to be overruled in appeals courts. They don't like to be embarrassed on certain things. So they know this is coming out, and they're going to look at it. So there's something, hopefully, that was current, indicating that there's evidence of these classified records there. But the case agent shouldn't consider that. It shouldn't be anything in his radar. He knows it's a sensitive matter because there's policy within the Bureau when you're doing a sensitive investigative matter, or as Chris O'Leary said, a SIM, you know that there's certain wickets that you're going to have to do, that you're not just going to write the warrant out. It's going to go through like lower level management. It's going to go all the way to the top. So all those considerations are there, but not the bigness of the political side should be in a case agent's eyes.
Great context, Rob. What should we be reading into or looking at, given that this is now expanding to a second location, potentially Bolton's office?
That's kind of natural. So again, if they had the warrant for the house, there's probably, some evidence in there that there's possibility of it being at his office, that he kept notes or he kept documents at his office. So there was another search warrant, different district, authorizing a search at his office. And they probably talked to him this morning, and he probably knew that was coming then. Like if they went and they searched the house, he also probably knew that they're going to come to the office. And again, as we talked about earlier, they knew his location. They probably surveilled the house last night, knew exactly when he left. And if they're going to search the office, since he was there, you would want eyes on it to make sure that he did not go in the office and come out and do something where, if he knew that they were looking for documents, that he could have gone in, got them, and left with them. So you'd want surveillance on the office to ensure that that did not happen.